I'm still with Isabella Oakeshott, Talks International Editor. Of course, we're going to have to go fast here because, first of all, before we get to poor Lucy Connolly appealing against her grotesque 31-month sentence for posting nasty words on Twitter, outrageous, here's a picture of David Lammy's taxi. Now, there's a whole sort of a firestorm surrounding. Look at it. So this is the taxi he spent 6 hours in, a 360-mile journey from near Bologna in Italy to the French Alps. So he went. It was a 600 quid. Fare. There was a big row afterwards because it was supposed to be prepaid apparently, and the taxi driver said it wasn't. He sped off with David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary's diplomatic passport in the boot, and his wife's passport as well. He was with his wife, of course. Now, so that the disgusting mess the taxi was left in. Well, what I want to know is who in the end was paying for this taxi fare. Now, okay, fair enough. Lammy had been in Italy for the King's state visit, so business, and he's entitled to a few days off if he wants them, and if he's going to the Swiss Alps, fine. I'll even sort of go along with the idea that the Foreign Office can pay for his expenses to get there. But you know, in terms of the fact, if we are paying for this, surely it would be incumbent on the Foreign Secretary to find a cheaper way of making a 360-mile journey than climbing into a damn cab.
Well, I'm going to surprise you here.
I saw what you tweeted.
I'm going to stand up for that. First of all, it's a nightmare getting to these. He was going to a ski resort, wasn't he? I mean, it is. I can tell you from experience, it's virtually impossible to do that by public transport at anything other than about 2 fixed times of the day on 2 days of the week. So
right.
I had to take a taxi. I do speak from experience on this one. And secondly, it sounds very much as if the driver was out to fleece him, because the fare had been paid, and the driver himself, if he's been quoted accurately by, I think it's our own Sun newspaper that broke the story, said, well, when I found out who he was, I slapped an extra €700 onto the bill because my life might have been in danger. I mean, to me, this sounds like a very grasping, greedy, opportunistic driver. However, there is zero excuse for any public figure, indeed anyone decent, leaving a taxi in that state. That is disgraceful, it's disgusting, and the Foreign Secretary should know better.
And shouldn't the Foreign Secretary have some kind of security? What's he doing shoving his diplomatic passport in the boot? I mean, yeah, it's not exactly his finest hour, is it?
You know, I think this is one of those things that we would say as journalists, there's quite a lot of holes in this story, aren't there?
I think there's still stuff to come out about it, but it's a very intriguing story. As I say, I don't think that we, the taxpayers, should be footing his taxi bill. By all means, I suppose we can underwrite this journey, but it doesn't have to be by taxi. It really doesn't. So anyway, well, let's drop that and move on to something far more important. We haven't got long now, but we need to talk about Lucy Connolly. She is the housewife, the mum, wife of a Tory councillor, who in the heat of the moment, in the height of the Southport riots, she was very, very upset because she lost her own child about a year ago, and she was sympathising with the poor mothers who lost their children in that brutal murder spree in the Southport Downs Hall by that animal Axel Rudagabana. So she was very heightened. She posted mass deportations now, kick them out, you know, if that makes me racist, you know, so be it, so on and so forth. Well, she pulled that down. She apologised. She said it was a mistake. She got 31 months. People who are actually involved in the riots, chucking bricks at coppers, were getting things like 2 years. She wasn't even there. She was hundreds of miles away. I think we've got to stop this. No one should ever go to jail for hurty words on social media. Otherwise, we have no right to call ourselves a free Western democracy. This is a stain on Britain. She's been in the appeal court today. She's been sobbing. Her husband isn't very well. For God's sake, let her out. She's already done the best part of 2 years.
It's appalling. Lucy Connolly's continued incarceration is a scandalous waste of a prison place. There is no need whatsoever for her to be behind bars. To the best of my knowledge, there is zero evidence that her silly comments on social media had any actual impact on anything. And our police and our prosecutors should concentrate on deeds, not words, things that actually happen, not things that might in some fantasy land potentially have some impact on something. She's not a terrible person, and it is a very, very poor use of a prison place.
And let's stress, Isabel, that before this fall from grace on her part, she had an absolutely unblemished life, not so much as a speeding ticket, nor as her husband. So this is the wrong person to put behind bars. And I would say, why on earth, out of the 385 people who went to jail, pretty damn sharpish, at indecent haste because of two-tier Keir's two-tier justice system. Get them inside, they're far-right thugs. They weren't, by the way. A police report has just concluded they weren't far-right thugs. Of the 385, 12 were for their keyboard warriors, things that were tweeted or Facebook posted, Instagram posted miles away. These people shouldn't go to jail. In America, they're looking across the Atlantic. And I saw Joe Rogan the other day. He goes, God damn, in Britain, or England as they always say, they're sending people to jail for tweets. I mean, and when you think about it, it's astonishing. What the hell does Starmer think he's playing at?
This is a purely political incarceration. She is a political prisoner. It's absolutely simple as that. She is a political prisoner. And here's the other thing. Nobody had ever heard of Lucy Connolly. She had no profile, no public position, no following, no influence. So why on earth does it matter, really, that she said some stupid, ill-judged and frankly pretty nasty things on Twitter?
I mean,
that was all faded into the ether. It had zero impact.
And I've got to make one last point. What is she doing in jail for 31 months, getting longer than rapists get, when Hugh Edwards, the BBC's in-house paedophile, didn't get a moment in jail? Why did he walk free and Lucy Connolly got 31 months? It's a disgrace. Great to talk to you, though, Isabel, as always. Thank you so much, Isabel Oakeshott there.